forward to your views. We'll be back after this break. Three 0002 017923 0003 0817 0003. All right, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook, and on X at Nigeria Info PH. All right, is where you find us on Facebook and on X. And this morning we're talking about justification of online fraud. Is it really because these young men are, in quotes, cavalry soldiers? They're soldiers on a mission, kind of like the mythical creature, not mythical, the folklore hero Robin Hood, right? Some argue he was real, others argue he wasn't. But the point is, the story goes that he would rob the rich, right, to help the poor, right? He would rob the rich to help the poor. And a lot of the quote unquote rich that he used to rob back in the days used to be the rich, corrupt aristocracy. Not the genuine farmer who had sheep and was doing very well. He wouldn't rob those people. No. He would rob the aristocrats who he felt was fleecing the poor. So when these brothers and sisters of ours, all right, start to scam people, and they go, oh, it's because my great grandfather was taken as a slave, or it's because the colonial imperialists. They wrecked our countries. Look at what they've done to Congo. Look at what they've done to Nigeria, to Uganda. They've made the economy poor. This is my own way of taking back what they've stolen from us. Yet you use the money to buy cars. You use the money to buy houses. You use the money to eat in the finest restaurants that even the poor people in your country or community that you claim to be helping can't even dine at. So what exactly is the justification, please? Your friends, brothers and sisters who are doing these things. Well, let me hear from you.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Well, Zion is joining us this morning from GRA. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jude. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you for joining us this morning, please.
Even the one I came across last week, it was a white man that was crying hell, which means they dealt with him. And some of our brothers came to the comment and said, this was how our ancestors were crying when your fathers were taking them away. So keep crying. The truth is this. Is it justified? Everybody have their own opinion and case to stand on. But Jude, I want to put it to you this morning that it's only a dubious person that can be scammed. It's only a greedy and a gullible entity that will be scammed. How can you be looking for love from nowhere?
It's called online dating sites. There's a reason why they become popular.
Online, but you have seen that environment is toxic. You should remove yourself from it. You see a shadow, a girl with a very front and back, coffee shapey, send you friend request. You accept because you are dubious. Why are you accepting such a person? Not knowing that he's a guy from this other edge. Somebody will call you and tell you that, look, we'll be having a video chat or a group chat. We'll send you a code. Return the code to us. Really?
But Zion, you do know that there are other more sophisticated ways of scamming people beyond the give me money and I'll pay you back or I'll send you money, you return it back. They've evolved. The one that died recently. The one that died this way was a young boy, and he thought was sharing a picture with a girl that he liked, only for him to be blackmailed of thousands of pounds.
Why should you share your nudes? As I'm talking to you now, there's a case I'm handling in Bayelsa right now. I can even send you some files for you to, if you want to join the settlement of this case.
No, I'm not.
Sending your nude to a guy as a girl. Are you okay? Why should you be sending your nude to another person? It's because you are gullible. You are a thief. You are looking for money. You are looking for relationship that you don't have within yourself. I believe that if all of us can tell ourselves the truth, nobody can scam us. Now, if this girl now is, according to our comment now, I'm a lost girl. Because this guy is already sharing a nude. Some are already in my phone. I've contacted him to stop that. Why should you do that? In any ramification you want to present, come out. Irrespective of who, irrespective of how they come, if you are not callable, they will not get you. Do you know how many text messages I've received? Pastor Joy is paying this. Tinubu is paying that. Click this one. It's authentic. Even your own sisters will send the same thing to you. Your brothers will send the same thing to you. Send it to 50 people and get so and so. Click this and get iPhone. What are you looking for iPhone for? Gullible people. That is why they are being scammed.
All right. JJ is speaking to us from Port Harcourt Town. JJ, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't think they have any reason for coming anybody. After all, these are not the people that took your father or whatever to wherever. They are all dead right now. And the rest is history. So doing that is just an excuse to commit crime. You remember the militancy days when they were kidnapping of white people and all those. The black people were saying, "Oh, I will say they do us, I will do them back." But you know what I put it?
In the late 90s.
That when the flood, yes, when the flood finished swallowing the short people, it will go for the tall people, but the water will be so high. That was exactly what happened to us. So when we clap for them, oh, now you go money, yeah, there was no Igbo money anymore. They now enter black people's money. Now clear people like savings and all those, because we didn't stop it as at when it stopped. When it started, we all joined and clapped just like the kidnapping. So what am I saying? A friend of mine, my very good friend, the father retired as a army officer. Right? He was waiting for his pension and all those. He got a call from a person that came to work in a bank and all those. Gave his ATM number to put together. But they were not patient enough. They cleared the 2,700 naira in that account. Dude, I tell you, that my friend's father had died that day because that was the day his pension after serving the Nigerian army for how many years, 36 or 35 years, would have landed. The saving grace he had was the clearing of the 2,700 that was remaining in his account. And my friend called me, "Oh, this is what happened." Oh. He said, "This is father and him are preparing to go to the bank." I said, "Bro, yes, go to the bank, but please, take this bank number, call them to block their accounts." You know what happened? As they were on their way to the bank, that's when the money landed. Before they got to the bank, those boys would have cleared the whole thing, not that they made the first call. And the man would have died. And your act of claiming that you're jobless, that's why you're doing, would have taken somebody's life. Good. Let's be careful what we support. I take it down.
All right, Judge says, let's be careful of what we support. Now, let me get to WhatsApp now and start to read messages. 0809 030 6416 0809 030 6416. Good morning, Jude. Here in the UK, my friend moved to a new apartment. He had a British neighbor. The moment they shared pleasantries and my friend mentioned he's from Nigeria, the neighbor's mood changed. He said he was robbed of his family fortune by a Nigerian scammer. My brother, that year relationship that just started ended. Dennis from the UK. So once again, I ask you, what are the justifications? What are the stories you have heard or the reasons you've heard from friends of yours, or maybe friends of friends, because these days nobody wants to admit that they have friends who are online scammers. What's the reason for their actions? What exactly is the justification? I want to find out from you. All right, 017-923-0002. 0817923 0003 0817923 0017923 0003 at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Well, Stanley says, while I did this country, well, apparently that's what's going on. Okay, Udoaka says, only in this country will people bring makeup to paint evil. 92.3. Hello, Potako. Good morning, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a nice topic this morning anyway. There is no any justification for this. The truth of the matter is, you're a fraudster. Nothing to justify anybody as regards to this. One of my staff, I caught him recently. For the past 2 weeks now, his phone is still currently with me, which I seized. Why? Because I found that it belongs to those group of people that does fake alerts, OP alerts.
Wow! Why don't you report him to the police? It's not your prerogative to do something like that. I can respect that you felt obligated, but why don't you report him to the police?
Yeah, it's to be reported to the EFCC. I've already made the contact because my younger brother is an EFCC officer. So since the action is fraudulent activity, so I think it's a EFCC official that deal with people like that. So I've informed the EFCC officials of which they will be the one to hand over the phone back to him when they have made their own final investigation. So there is no fact in anything, but it's the parents. What got me angry? What got me angry most? The father called me and told me that this is computer age. So I was not asking the father, so you supported your son's activity. He said no, but this is computer age. So what does it mean?
What does it mean?
It's terrible. So parents can be supporting this. At the end of the day, when you find your child at the back of the wood, maybe when government has finally given justice, we now blame God for it. It's wrong.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Michael is speaking to us from LMA. Oh, unfortunately, that call was lost. All right. WhatsApp. Good morning. These scammers are scammers because they have such opportunities and they have criminal mindsets. That's from Network. Interesting. This one is Destiny. Destiny says, I once asked a young man what he does, and he said he collects repatriation money from those who enslaved his ancestors. It took me minutes to understand what he was talking about. Fraud. Sadly, it has become a norm, especially in the South, South, and Southwest, and the police are accomplices in this crime. Mr. Jude, ordinarily, nothing should be a reason or justification, right? This seems like it's going to get interesting. Says nothing should be a reason or justification, right, to indulge in any form of scam. Scammers have sent people to early graves. A scammer should not be treated with kids' gloves. Unfortunately, the gullible society celebrates them, which often they become their victims. Ernest in Port Harcourt. Now, let me share with you. This is a real story, by the way. All right, and this is not even a Nigerian or happened in Nigeria. This happened in the good old US of A. All right, the land of dreams. All right, the land of the free and the brave. How many of you heard of this company before, or heard of this company? Theranos. Did you ever get to hear of Theranos? A few years ago, not about a decade plus ago. It was a consumer healthcare technology startup once valued at $10 billion, and its leadership claimed that it would revolutionize the blood testing industry. The $10 billion valuation made the company a decacorn. That is a term that plays off the term a unicorn applied to $1 billion valued startup companies. However, the technological breakthrough that the CEO Elizabeth Holmes and the former company president Ramesh Bharwani touted was never demonstrated, and the assertions of these two are mounted to outright deceit. The startup person, the person who started the company, Holmes, was 19 years old when she started this thing. I said she was 19, and in a space about 5 or 6 years, she was able to convince venture capitalists, investors to raise about $700 and something million US. Her claim was that they had worked on, or they are working on a device that would take just a small droplet of your blood And from that drop, they can test, they can find out if you have this, if you have that, if your grandfather came from the Ozumbak tribe, or if he came from Genghis Khan. That's what they claimed. And it turns out that because of this, in quote, very delicate part of Medicare, people started to do partnerships with them. But it was found out that they were using other people's machines. They were falsifying tests, they were falsifying results, they were treating employees badly, they were making fake audits. What did I say? $10 billion. That's what Theranos was valued. Would you say that, oh, they were greedy? People invested in that company? They were scammers. They were scammers. Heck, they even went as far as getting to the SEC. So it might not be only greedy people that get scammed. This was a genuine looking business. And guess where it was? It was in good old fashioned United States America. Good old fashioned America. But no, all you get to hear these days, or a lot of times what you hear, are the scams that come from Nigeria. I am not saying they should not be highlighted. Please listen. The point here is these fraudsters, these scammers are everywhere. And if you were to sit down and ask that woman, Elizabeth Holmes, what was your reason for deceiving people out of their hard-earned dollars? By the month of June 2016, Elizabeth Holmes, who was worth 4.5 billion, went down to nothing. She eventually went to prison. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0003. Good morning, Nigeria Info. The scammers are scammers because they have opportunities for criminal mindset. I think I read this before, just sent it again. Goodness says that David Ibebe said last night that Yahoo Boy and others are thieves. The bank staff connive with these scammers because they give them customers' phones and account details. Because since I moved my bulk money, I seldom get calls. Otherwise, I have made the policy never to answer calls on my accounts. The question this morning is not even how they do it, but the reason behind. The reason behind what they do. Clever Sonny on Facebook says, it is very sad how we've gotten here. I know a guy from Delta, his mother's wife and children are very proud that their father is scammer. Can you beat that? That people are proud. I have to ask, is it that those who support these individuals don't realize that the actions of their friends or even their actions, let's leave the family members, is that they don't take into cognizance that their actions, right, could lead people to death? Their actions could lead people into several states of mental instability? It's that they don't know. Or maybe it's just a game. Maybe because it is online, there is a bit of a I honestly do not know. So once again, what are the motivations for scammers? What have they told you that, oh, this is the reason why I do this or I have done this? What exactly is the push? 017-923-0003, 017-923-0007. John is on the line. John is speaking to us from Ada George. John, good morning to you, please. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
It is scammers there. Most of these scammers are people that are very close to us. Very close to us. And in our contemporary society, most importantly, or let's say Nigeria, and Port Harcourt in cool. These guys, even the girls, the people are doing about I don't know if you understand. The people now,
my guy is a Yahoo guy, my brother is a Yahoo. You them somebody that is a thief.
Someone is a thief.
You are glorifying that person. Okay, I don't know. Please tell that your boyfriend when he's looking for a job, you should put there one of the jobs he has done before is Yahoo. Let him put there. I've not done before. Then by the time when they begin to do that, they will start clapping for them. You know that when we say call people in university, then when you are feeling your tree, put there that you might university I want to call him and let him will employ you.
Interesting. That's a good question. It's a good question. If they are so proud of what it is that they do, why don't they make it public? Like he said, hey, if you're a former gang member back in school, put there. I used to be in the society. We used to beat and kill people. Put it there. Anyway, I don't know these things. Well, let me share with you some more information on this particular conversation. Now, the motivation of scammers, and this is from a research that was done a few years ago. It says the motivation for scammers are almost universally financial in nature. Scammers exist to, in one fashion or the other, separate their victims from whatever items of value that they may have. This might mean actual currency, information, physical objects, or any number of other means of storing value. So, like other criminals in general, scammers are often largely represented in the public eye as the least skilled member of their profession. However, it's been shown that that is not the case, because some of the scammers, online scammers, are actually some of the most intelligent, sometimes some of the most creative individuals around. So why then? And this is my question. When I read this, the first thing came to mind. So if you could have the knowledge you've learned, some of these people are self-taught, you could teach yourself how to, as it were, scam people. Why don't you actually go into a business where you don't look over your shoulder? You don't get it. That's me personally, but my thoughts don't matter. Imagine, look at the lady I just made mention of, the Theranos lady, right? Smart enough to start a company that was valued at $10 billion at one point in time. In fact, at the point when they were raising the capital, $724 million, if the money was used to start to sell water in the US or even hamburger business, she may have made a lot of money. They really would have made a lot of money. But no, they stuck to this road, deceiving people. And by the way, these were the in quote, because let's be honest, how many semi-literate or not so well-grounded Americans would put their money in a Fortune 500 company or invest in stocks? People are trying to look for bread. They're trying to just make money, work in 2 or 3 hamburger fast food chains. So they convinced venture capitalists, people who are educated like doctors, lawyers, and got their money. And you say it's only gullible people, greedy people, people who are not educated that can fall for these scams? Good morning, Jude. In this part of the world, scammers are actually protected by friends and families with the excuse that it is their ancestral wealth, that they are taking from these white men. I stopped supporting the NSAS protest when I noticed that the focus shifted to protection of these Yahoo boys, saying the government didn't give them jobs and now SARS are taking money from them. Please, scammers are thieves. That's all. Scammers are thieves. And that's all. People scam because they want to. It's really as simple as that. Scammers also exist offline. Some years ago, I heard of a pastor's daughter who got married, and after about 3 children, the man left. When asked why, he said he just wanted to sleep with her and knew that she wouldn't have had premarital sex. Is that one not a serious scam? Some strong relationships and marriages, mine included, started online. No nudes involved, but some people who claim online relationship are scams and have been scammed offline as well. After the break, more.
My gosh, I'm always on the go, but I never miss any